Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he has a lot of like creative picks he's come up with through the times, and he likes to play a lot of different things. I think he has a good way of like leading, I guess, even the GIANTX, or like he has shows what their strengths and weaknesses are. I think he can be strong in the laning things for sure, but I think him and GIANTX are just lagging a bit in the later parts of the games.
Important analysis. Let's go to pick ban. Already Yone taken off the board, and when we're going to have a mid focus for you all at home, at least in this game one. Nothing else apart from the Yone is through. We're talking about Azir is first pickable as well. Vi now gone. That Azir rises to priority. Cap's got anything else on the board?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, the Azir could come up with the Yone, right? And yeah, we see it right there. So it's definitely something that Jojo likes and Jaggies likes as well. You can always play a lot of like crazy things into Azir. I wonder if we're gonna see something like that, or if we'll just see something boring like a
Taliyah or something. Or...
Well, I mean, he brought out the Silas before, which was kind of the one that we saw last weekend. Didn't work out so hot in that game number 3. So I think going back towards a little bit more standard in the Taliyah makes a lot of sense. But I thought like we've seen a lot of Taliyah Pantheon, like the double semi-global ultimates can be really, really useful. But Trundle's really risen up in priority for just how much of that early game pressure and early game skirmishing power he can bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think like they already have like a solid draft coming into it. I'm not sure how much KOI has, like how much of KOI is relying on like the EWC and MSI meta compared to how comfortable they are with the new meta, to be honest.
True.
But it's something we'll have to be on the lookout for.
All right, Wukong gets locked in. Maybe the Trundle was something to negate, something like a Sejuani, a common pairing with the Azir as well. Myrwn loves this pop, and I mean, is this a safe blind pick for the top lane right now, you think?
I mean, it's for sure like a strong lane, right? You can, if you go like very crazy, you can maybe find something to punish it, but it can be tricky. I wouldn't be surprised if you just, ends up going for something like a bit more stable, like the Kai'Sa. Like that makes sense, right? Aurora can for sure be strong in the lane, but you can be more useful later in the game.
Which always finds a way to come back in. All right, so frontline acquired for GX. Let's see where the bans go, because bot lane is just ignored for the time being from both sides. Yunara, safe ban away. Caps, from your experience in the recent meta, does Yunara start showing when champs like this ban away? Is it more so comfort, or is it like, we're getting rid of this because we have an AD carry in mind that's weak to Yunara? If you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
I mean, I think Yunara is still at like that very early phase where people don't really know what to do with her. I think some players have really spammed it out and have some good ideas with it. I think others maybe just don't have the best understanding. I can imagine that's why we maybe see a lot of bans of just people haven't like experimented enough with it.
True.
For sure, we have like I feel like we have a good read on it, but I don't think it's perfect for sure. Like I think with this new kind of champs, you always learn new things every week about like which scenarios they can be good or bad.
I mean, even up until last week, there was 3 different builds that I saw from the champion. Everyone trying to figure it out. So I think that definitely makes a lot of sense. But I'm curious now to see what they want to try and round it out with, because GIANTX last week, we saw them going more towards things like Dilution, which have risen up priority, and that maybe is something that they want to try and put their hand towards. Or do we end up just going back towards more of the scaling? Because I was going to say, with the Aphelios gone, maybe looking at something like the Jinx, but Yunara gone, good against short-range champions. Maybe it's just the Kai'Sa angle.
Kai'Sa angle's interesting here for Noah. I mean, he's also been a big corky player, but you see that band away as well. A lot of pinching of pockets coming through against GX. As this would change the comp a little bit, maybe go more towards dive. Caps, what are your thoughts here? AD carry just set up for utility while you got a strong mid jungle pairing.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have like many options to go, especially when they pick it like this, right? There's like no bot lanes picked yet.
Yeah.
They go up for the Kai'Sa. It's definitely decent at like either diving in or kiting backwards if like a Wukong or Aurora goes on you, right? But it can also be a little bit trickier in the early game.
I really like the Sivir pickup here. The opportunity to try and play more for that speed up for the rest of the composition, and also just has a good time at clearing out waves against the Kai'Sa. Makes a lot of sense. So MKOI, and already going towards the Neeko, so strong against so many of these engaged supports, it really limits the pool that GIANTX can go for.
He didn't have much left up and available. Nautilus, great pairing with the Kai'Sa. Alistar's there as well. Some kind of go button, right? It feels like with Santa having a front line and with the pick potential we have in this comp for GX, they need something to press the R.
Well, I think you've already got decent options, like for the Kai'Sa. You've already got the Trundle pillar, which can at least set her up for a ult if she needs to reposition. Now you've got the Nautilus to try and provide that backline assassination. So a lot of tools here to enable Kai'Sa, which I think is going to be the main go button for GIANTX in this sort of situation.
For sure, yeah. And I mean, Taliyah will also have like a lot of old timings to try and help out in the bot lane. It can be a bit tricky to go on Sivir, especially with the spell shield and the ult. But other than that, maybe they can find some picks on Aurora or something.
Which comp do you like better?
I think both comps are decent for sure. I would probably prefer the GIANTX draft. I think the bot lane matchup could maybe be a bit tricky. But aside from that, if they manage to find like a Taliyah roaming down there, or maybe like a little cheese gank, I think the Kai'Sa can just start farming the Neeko road.
True, and start scaling as well. All right, for MKOI, this was an early top lane Aurora, I will just say. Myrwn pulled this out, is now running into a tank, not the Rumble, maybe he wanted to preempt it a little bit there, but for MKOI, throwing a spanner in for their first game back. Remember, we haven't seen them. This is just like you guys, debuting here today in the same day. Uncanny. A little bit as well. Did you enjoy your time off? Or what little you had?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely nice. I got to go home to Denmark for a few days, just say hi to my family, see what things have changed since I last was there, right?
What, in Denmark?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's changed in Denmark since you last went back?
Well, I mean, a lot of my family moved apartments, and I also have a new niece, so that was...
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You member to Kai'Sa's family. That puts a grin on your face. We walk into our second series, starting off your week 2. Also, you have the food. I mean, I got to be honest, Danish food always hits hard. GB told me there's the sandwich that you had at Christmas markets with pork in it. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the word for it. If you can think.
I mean, I think it's just like a FLICKR sandwich.
Yes. Yeah. And I know it sounds simple, but to me, I was like, oh my god, it's one of the best sandwiches I ever had.
Yeah, I think that's also what I got actually when I come home.
Really?
Every time I come home, my mom is like, oh, I'll make this.
Oh my god, you're so lucky. All right. Shout out to Kai'Sa's mum. Welcome to game 1. Cap's going to be with us for the first portion, the early laning phase, so we can talk deeper into a mid-lane matchup. Now, I know it's not super exciting talking about Taliyah versus Azir. I do know that, Taliyah in the lane often seen as a good matchup into Azir versus scaling, right? Am I talking to it too simplistic for it, or is there more to the matchup than meets the eye, you think?
No, I mean, it definitely is like Taliyah can be a bit more proactive, right? I think Azir doesn't have that many choices, but like Taliyah has a lot of options if she wants to. Like, for example, here she's like trying to help out the bot lane, right?
Yeah.
And that's the big question mark with Taliyah a lot of the time. Like, do you want to like help out your bot lane? Do you want to help out your jungle? Maybe get some form for vision for your team? Or are you going to play it more where you're like standing in lane from the start and really trying to make the Azir's life hard?
Yeah, and then if you're Elyoya, I think you're trying to find ways to combat that, right? In the top side, you've already got Myrwn, who should have decent push there, so you can kind of leave that top side to itself. So trying to find ways to get vision control, spot out when Jackie's is trying to make those moves, is probably going to be the best option for Elyoya, especially until he gets to level 6 and become a little bit more proactive on this champion.
It's already good trading from Jackie's. He just walked in with a threaded volley, and Jojopyun took kind of the extended trade, but now that minion wave's here, things have changed a little bit. And I've noticed, Caps, as well, we've changed from like Conqueror Azir into Lethal Tempo. Not quite recently, but over the past couple of months. Lots getting shredded a bit. This is a melee versus ranged matchup. Ignore that for the time being. His bot's going to fight it out, and Jude just gets walked out. But there's a flash, auto attack. Supa ignited, one more auto needed, and Noah gets it. Supa walks back in just to receive, and now Alvaro's in trouble too. Dredgeline almost up and available. Minion wave in the way with Lethal Tempo. Getting close, but Noah with first blood.
Supa and Alvaro had really stepped up for MKOI over the course of MSI and also back at our playoffs in spring, but unfortunately they're getting caught out. Noah and Jun have to turn that one around.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely like a big win, right? Because I was talking a lot about trying to set up the bot lane for success. But if they're doing it themselves, then it will make it even easier, right? Like, no summoners on Sivir now. When Taliyah gets 6, she will probably be looking down there.
I feel like Naught base damage always helps in the matchup. I know, like, support dictates the matchup a lot down here, but even though Neeko's strong, Naught's base damage with W and Ignite is kind of crazy, though.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to not disrespect the hook. I think if you get a hook at a bad timing, you can easily get one shot.
So I was talking a little bit before. That's okay. Look, I've got more questions about Denmark. We can go there in a second. I was talking a little bit about Azir and Lethal Tempo and the change. Can you kind of walk out the change for me as like why we've gone in that direction?
Yeah, I mean, I believe it started when they just made they changed Lethal Tempo so that before it gave you like range.
Yeah.
Now it's like more the on-hit damage, and they also made it so that you can like proc on-hit on Azir, right? Like same with like Nashor's Tooth and stuff like that. And honestly, it's just like a lot stronger, especially in the laning phase.
Yep.
If you start, like Azir can be a bit weak in the early levels, but if you start getting a few autos and stacking Lethal Tempo, most matchups you honestly just win the all-ins, so it can be very tricky to punish the Azir if he has lethal tempo. It makes him a lot more defensive, and then also once you start getting a bit of poke from like Azir, you can even start just straight up winning the lane.
Well noted. Dagda, any questions about Denmark for Caps? What do you want to know that GB hasn't shared?
I was going to say, I feel like Goldberg has told us a good chunk already, so I'm kind of up to date. Well, at least as far as up to date as I can be. I feel like I also, like, because I'm from Ireland, I learned a lot about Denmark through what the Vikings did to us.
Oh, that's good. So he still holds that against you, apparently.
So Olaf Ben confirmed?
Yeah. But no, I think, like, I think it is interesting to see how the mid lane meta has changed quite a bit. Because it didn't feel like there were some champions that are still very present in the meta, right? Before, from Spring to MSI now coming in. But we're definitely seeing champions like Orianna start to creep up in the meta and that kind of stuff. Like, what is kind of the reasoning behind the shift we've seen from what almost felt like, well, it's still Taliyah every game, but some of these other champions that were more on the fringe now starting to become more prominent in that space?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially going into MSI, there were like quite a few changes, right? Whether it be like the TF buff, and I think there was also like a spellbook change, which was quite crazy for the meta, right? But overall, usually in these tournaments like MSI and EWC, you don't play that many games, and there's not that many teams. So it's not like the meta will be super fleshed out. I think people usually just kind of go fast with what they learn, what they pick up, what is working for them, what is not.
Yep.
And I think now with the summer split starting and many more games being played, many more teams playing, we get to see a bit more of what is actually performing better.
Yeah.
Something like the Ori can be going up a bit in prio, or people even trying out the 6, right?
And in best of 3's, a bit more data as well. We come back live as Elyoya is going to face check, and after an MKOI mouth issue from Alvaro, now he's going to help out with his jungler. Elyoya flashes down away from the pillar. Good gank timer from Isma.
Yeah, this is a disaster for MKOI. You've already lost the 2v2. Now you've already got your flash burns on your jungler as well. It feels like control for GIANTX is already here. This is what we wanted to see. GIANTX last week came out the door swinging against KC, and honestly could have picked up the 2-0 win, that game 1 getting away from them. Now we're seeing it once more.
Very true. A quick reminder as well. As Isma comes in and debuts for the series, Caps in the first week that we had of LEC. This guy performed a lot better, and I think Isma's been under the, what's it called, magnifying glass, right, out of recent history. And people have said he's a weak jungler, but he had a very good start. Maybe I shouldn't have talked about him yet. He's going to get the crab, though.
Got the crab.
Yeah. That's what matters, right? I feel like Isma had a lot of impact in the first week. I don't know how much akin to it you were.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I do remember as well, even last, what is it called? Like last time we played them in spring, and he came in with the level 4 gank, 4 camps gank into mid, which was kind of annoying. So he definitely has some solid ideas, and yeah, I mean, this game he's also just been performing well, right? But I also think a lot of it from this game is definitely on the back of the bot lane, right? And whenever support can get like the prio, it helps everyone, but especially the jungler a lot, right?
But I do think for Isma and Jun specifically, they have been working really well together.
Yeah.
When you look back at the series against KC, it was them kind of linking up in that early to mid stages, making sure Jackies could farm up an Orianna in the side lane, getting the vision control down, finding good gank timers. So I definitely think GIANTX have come in with a really strong understanding of what they want to achieve in the early stages of the game, and a lot of that is at the feet of this jungle support.
Does feel nice. Again, we're hyping them up, especially now a lot. Not level 6, but onto Myrwn when he slowed him down. Natopa strikes and dashing forward. Myrwn's been hit by everything. All it takes is another flip, and he can't escape, getting solo killed in a melee versus range matchup. Lot just needs one hit, pops over the wall. He gets juked, but then just sees Myrwn in front of him. I think Myrwn thought he could outplay.
Man, what is with Casantes today? They're popping off. And Lot specifically has had a couple of kills now that have been really, really good for him. Myrwn didn't know what hit him.
The champion's a bit good, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're picking like the range support, the range top, right? And you could really expect them to get these leads, but when they're getting 2 kills and 1v1 killed bottom top, it's not a good start for MKOI.
I feel like right now, I mean, we're just in a tank meta where tanks negate a lot. There's so much health in the game. I don't know if there's a problem with you, Caps, but like, tanks right now just feel like they're in such a good position where they can be picked into almost anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely on the strong side. And a lot of it is just about how hard you can like punish, right, the laning phase, or if you can somehow kill them later on. Aurora is like not the best at killing tanks later in the game, so for sure it's a lot on getting a lead early.
And it's so good for GIANTX as well, because you got that solo kill on boss. Lot was able to TP top, he catches the wave. Isma has the pressure, needs to take the dragon. You also get to set up Noah into Myrwn in this bottom side with Jun, which makes that bot lane much more difficult, but loss. All right.
Yeah, it just takes a bit of a chunk. Mismatch lanes favours who, gents? Who do we want to look at here? Because Myrwn, he's level 6. We're probably going to get an answer again. He's got no flash. And flash immediately from Jun. Ulti comes out. Trenchline was close. Good attempt. He takes double turret shot. Jun about to get bursted down, and all it takes is a W, but in the end, rather, Myrwn is not going to get the burst he needs. Supa now with lethal tempo up and available. Tangle buff, good dodge from Lot. He survives Supa, both top laners. Honestly, little HP.
Jungler's on the top side of the map, though. Wukong moving towards mid lane, trying to protect there, but I think Isma might need to just slip on up into the top side, make sure he's okay. Noah.
He fancies his chances. He's not level 6, but again, it's lethal tempo. He has flash. He has barrier. I was thinking maybe he's going to do it. Things get a little bit interesting here as Myrwn gets a little bit lower. Good range here from Alvaro, and Supa's just clearing the wave. Caps, who does this benefit in the lane swap, you think?
I mean, I think initially I would probably benefit for the GIANTX, right? Again, they are going for like the more melee comps, but I think with both top and bot dying, it's probably honestly better that MKOI just get to farm up now. Of course, they had a chance of killing Aurora there, but once that misses, Sivir actually got some plates here, and she got to farm out a bit, which could have been quite tricky. I don't know if she had her sums up again, but especially if she had no sums, it could have been quite hard for her to lane against like North and potential Taliyah.
All in. Jackie splashes away. Seismic shot flash from Jojo, but he's still autoing. Onto Jun. Supa gets the kill. Either that mid or AD carry getting flood here. The MKOI is great.
Jun trying to match the pressure in mid, but he had no summoner spells, and Isma not really in a position to try and follow up, so MKOI with a nice pick on mid now gets to turn over towards the objective, and especially when they lose out on the early game, being able to contest this objective is nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this was a huge pick onto June, right? They really got to stabilize the whole map because it was looking quite bad for them. But now they are getting grubs and Sivir was getting plates, and I would be quite happy if I'm KOI.
I can't tell. Jackie's icon is not there for ulti, but ulti still potentially for a play for GX as we pause again because Jojo sends it, gets the first flash out of Jackie.
Yeah, it's a good flash, and Jun here thinks that, hey, we can try and get into position to follow up if Jojo goes for the aggressive play, but just doesn't have the follow-up from Isma, especially when MKOI are able to come through first. And the reason, by the way, we don't see Jackie's ultimate is because most Taliyahs won't level the ultimate until they really need to. Sure. It means that if you take some damage, you can immediately get the ult on out of there without having the ult go on cooldown because you've taken some early DPS.
Yeah, and I'm sure now, like Taliyah no flash against Azir can be scary, right? And with them also falling for they went for like a 3v4 before, which is not great, right? They need to find some way to bring him back in the game. So
he gets out over the wall. Caps have been told we're going to get you back to your team, but before we do, a quick question about how the game's playing out, what your prediction is for this first game, because you can be a little bit biased now if you want, that's okay. As you leave the caster desk. Thoughts about the first game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought GIANTX had a very strong early parts of the game. I can kind of see, you can kind of see what I was meaning, but a little bit later in the game, I think they start falling a bit apart.
Yeah.
And I just think despite the early crazy lead they had, honestly, they've already like kind of thrown a lot of it. So honestly, I would give it to KOI.
It feels like something that's happened with GIANTX a lot. Thank you very much for your insight, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause for Caps. Thank you so much for joining us for the start of Game 1. The legend that go to the West. We'll keep praising you as you leave, sir. It's always good to have a player on board. Thank you very much to Caps. You know, we didn't glaze him too much while he's here because we didn't want him to, you know, blush or anything, right? We wanted him to feel comfortable.
I think once you started asking the questions about Denmark, that man went fairly bright red. So
he got excited, but he liked talking about Denmark. You know, he hit a sweet spot, and granted, it was a nice place. Now that Caps has stepped away from us, quick update. Let's try words. Update in the game. As we almost get the first item here for Jojopyun. A little bit trailing behind as Jackie's is on a tier, but I'm looking towards that 80 carry berth down there because our first kill over to Supa was a big deal to mitigate that kill before from Noah that we talked about. The only really demanding gold leaders between mid and top, and vice versa is Lots up, and Alternatively, Jojo is as well.
I don't think we're going to get first items coming through, so that's why GIANTX looking for a pick potentially on the bottom side. Elyoya will spot this out, and now it's actually GIANTX in trouble.
Yeah, there's a Neeko on the way as well. Alvaro has an angle, and they're like, how do we get out of this? Pop Blossom only on Isma. It's a flash, it's a Tangle Barbs, and in flies Elyoya. Cyclone up as well. Isma flashes to the left, but here's Jojo sliding and gliding his way in. Isma walking out. Only a sliver of health as GX looks for the rest of the fight. Super autoing out, but rather GX need to escape for now, and MKOI don't get a kill. They got that nice pinch there, but GX somehow got away.
That is shocking that GIANTX got away. TP from Jackie's towards Myrwn.
All he needs is a flip back, and Myrwn trying to kite it out for as long as possible. Seismic shove, burnt down Jackie's with a solo kill.
So it's a bit of a messy situation, but it's not going to end just yet. TP now from Lost. GIANTX still want to try and contest this. I don't know if they have it, though.
It's like Caps left, and they're like, oh, he's gone. Now we can really play more aggressive. Dragon goes down, but here's a dredge line onto a clone. Matters not. Jun gets nothing. They walk away, MKOI with the objective. The cost of that one kill.
So you could see GIANTX wanted to make a play on towards the bottom side, weren't expecting Elyoya to be on towards Krug, so they get caught out. After that, though, is kind of where it gets a little bit funky, because Isma ends up using the ultimate onto Alvaro here just to try and get some of that health regen and make sure that he's at least a little bit tankier, but also forces Alvaro to jump away because he's incredibly squishy. Jun body blocks Jojo on the engage, so you can't actually get the follow-up swoop and boom. And Lop ends up running as a distraction, so then you manage to get both players out of that position. That could have been an absolute disaster for GIANTX, but you end up getting Jackies with the kill on top side, so it works out a little bit in their favor, unless you add the Dragon into the mix.
It's a solo kill kind of game, isn't it? Another one added into the mix now. Jun, not going to be called out as such. Elyoya looks for him. The spear's out, or rather the staff, as first item is on board. Yuntal for Supa, opposite, Kraken here for Noah. So AD carries have something to work with here as Jojo has to find a way out. Lot tries to predict the shuffle away. Jojo does escape to the left instead. Lot's going to keep pushing this wave. Note 1 minute 55 until Herald spawns in the top side of our map. And that should be the next fighting point as both teams looking dead even outside of 300 gold.
I think MKOI are stronger off of this one item spike though than GIANTX are. I could be a little wrong. It's just that I think for Noah, you kind of want 2 to 3 items before the Kai'Sa really becomes a big menace, whereas Supa, the boomerang damage can be really strong. Alvaro's quite strong. And also just the lack of summoner spells on towards Isma makes it a little bit more difficult for him to contest a lot of space around the pit, thanks to a lot of CC that MKOI have. So if I'm MKOI, I'm definitely trying to force a fight at this next objective, whereas for GIANTX, it may just be, hey, let's try and trade for some turret plates, or sorry, for a turret on the sideline.
Exec Coordinator also picked up from Alvaro. He's got a bit of burst here on the Neeko too. The only thing for MKOI that might make things a bit more difficult is that flash on the Neeko, but you're right. They look for a fight. There could be a Trinity force to match. Yeah, just picked up by Elyoya. Also that Nash 2 from Jojo. They have tools with a Leandri's top as well. First item's really on the board everywhere as Deep Vision now from GX is a priority towards this Dragon in 240.
Trying to contest red, maybe catch Elyoya on this. Will be spotted though.
It's going down pretty fast. All it takes is a smite. It's a little bit early, but successful nevertheless. Subjugate used by Isma. Again, that Hextech Coordinator pops a little bit, but after the triangle's down, Alvaro, that's his burst. Done and down to the ground. Success on the steal.
With no subjugate on GIANTX, I still think it's playing towards bottom side is our best bet, and I think they kind of know it as well. They've set up with Jackies on this bottom side of the map, wanting to basically use that as their push point to then go for the invade, but MKOI haven't fully transitioned to the top side yet, so they're still protecting Jojopyun to a certain extent.
Myrwn farms up. Note that he's got no TP. I know he's on the right side of the map, but still something worth mentioning that it should be up in time for Dragon, but it's pretty close at this point with 1 quarter left remaining on the cooldown now. Herald has just spawned. Beelining at the top right now is Isma. Half on the subjugate, the Dagda. Gave you a bit of a lesson in not being up and available. So let's just gear up for that. Jun's just going to use his Ghost on the Unsealed Spellbook, and GX are here first regardless, and Trundle does a lot of damage.
They spotted MKOI on the bottom side of the map, clearing out all the vision GIANTX had already set down, so they're just going to try and clear this out. Immediately, Jackies pulls back from that bot lane towers. So MKOI are actually the ones that say, look, we will just get gold funneled into Jojopyun. We don't really mind if you get the Herald. We're already going to take that tower in response.
Myrwn's here. Eye exposed. Smite down. The burst trying. Myrwn is just getting in the way, but Herald's super easy. The ult between worlds onto Noah is a big burst. He aggressively walked through and now has the flash. There's Alvaro. Disguise looking for a pop blossom, but disrespect from Noah after the objective was won.
It was a bit of an off call, and this is something that we've seen from GIANTX in their last series as well, is are we going in, are we going out, what do we want to do? It looked like Noah maybe thinking we can take the fight, but ends up getting separated from the rest of the team, and MKOI jump.
There's a wall out, and Elyoya is going to be on the wrong side of it. Supa not caught out, his shield is perfect, and doesn't even get hit by the seismic shove, so he walks it out. Ghost is what's going to be used there, but he still has his flash for the dragon fight in 35 seconds.
And that's probably the most important point, is MKOI having, again, the flash on towards Alvaro, the opportunities to look for some of these big plays.
Yep.
GIANTX going to try and force position by going for the mid lane turret here.
The wave is quite thin as well. Boomerang blade out. The grub's out as well. Alvaro gets poked down, but it's a big commit. In the way is the clone. The ulti from Noah. Pop Blossom. No! Nowhere to go. As Dredgeline, depth charge, everything. Elyoya cannot move. Monkey sent away. It's a good shot, but Jojo doesn't have a team. He has to slide out of there as Isma's already subjugated. Healed up again. He flashes out because Supa now in lethal tempo mode with Myrwn on the burst, but MKOI came in bit by bit and went out in the same way.
Massive pick from GIANTX, getting both those members and the mid lane tower position for Dragon as well off the reset. That was a massive play.
Let's watch again, Dagda, the power of the internet, as we can watch it one more time.
The flick back onto Alvaro was huge. That immediately takes the Neeko out of things. And at this stage, the tower is too low. They know the Supa and Elyoya aren't really in a position. But also watch Jun there. Immediately ults the Wukong.
Yeah.
So that then Noah's free to go in. You can't get the Wukong follow-up. And unfortunately for Jojopyun, he tries to salvage the play, but it's already too far gone before he can arrive at the top.
Greatest thing about Nord is on that ult node as well. You ult the original, even if he clones, it's still on the original. He can't avoid it. But you're right, the CC chain was beautiful and GX powered in. Mid lane turret gone, now they're back on the map, and Dragon might be number 2 here. GX, this is a powerful move that Elyoya needs to try and steal. He's going to go to the back of the pit. He's got a clone. Seismic shove used. Clone pops in the air, but second Dragon for GX. That play put their game back into favor.
Still though, MKOI going to try and force resources into Jojopyun. He's on this top side. Lost trying to get to the top end, but Alvaro's trying to run interference so they can take that top structure.
Yeah.
2 towers though for GX, and all the kills and the mid lane tower still puts them ahead in the play, but I think MKOI have kind of set where they want to go, which is just try and hard force as much into Jojo and let him carry late.
Jojo getting a bit of gold, so the injection nice, 500 individually. Jackie's going to match that with his own turret and bot, as both mid laners just benefit walking towards their second item. An invade starts with Elyoya. Bit of tangle barbs, but no damage onto Lot. Jojo with the angle here. He's got the shove up, but no flash to get in. But Lot's going to start getting autoed to death, and he'll take another 40 more, then he'll eventually die. But regardless, MKOI trying to take away objectives as we slow the pace down. Just waiting for that Atacant, waiting for the next dragon to spawn. It has been a rather slower game, Dax, and for a reason that we're just looking towards scaling. His depth charge going to be used. Jojo in trouble. He shoves away, but the Weaver's Wall puts Jackie's in harm's way. Noah holds these into the pit. Bot Blossom again, this time disengages, but look, Isma's there, and he just subjugates Jojo to death. Alvaro no manner to escape, and caught out again. 7-1, GIANTX put him down.
GIANTX are finding picks in the topside jungle. They will lose their mid lane tower as a result, but it's kind of being traded again for turrets elsewhere. So all outer turrets will fall off the back of this play, but it's more gold going in the hands of GIANTX.
This is why we're hyped about GIANTX. As Cap said, like, the mid game can be quite risky. And it can be a slump. Early game, we saw part of that slump, but GX have clawed it back, and the power of this team right now is the decision-making is getting better and better as we look at one of them here. Yeah,
it's just Jojo sticking around that bit too long. Jun able to come through, Weaver's Wall immediately. Lot tries to jump over the wall with the E, at least gives part of the shield to get the assist, and Jojo nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Even the fact that Alvaro gets stuck trying to help him out just makes it even worse for MKOI, and GIANTX going to be happy that they get 2 of those picks.
Well, Atacant's now spawned, 2 minutes 50 till the Dragon. Quick reminder how important this is. Remember, only one best of 3 as Atacant starts up here. This could be the decider in at least game 1.
It's also the fact that Noah now has 2 of his items completed, match to the other side, but this Kai'Sa going to be significantly stronger in these fights now thanks to that second item spike.
Alvaro has flash available. Pop Blossom not available though. Alvaro does not have an ult to change this play, but maybe they can't get in to begin with. Jojo flipped around, poked out. Jackie's low though. Myrwn comes in to try and burst Atacant at 3k. It's a bit of a leash here. Elyoya trying to zone out as it's getting a little bit haywire. Myrwn dies on the side from Noah, but look, the fight scattered. scattered. Bot tries to go in, ulti's out. That's only under the mid laner. Artican goes down to MKOI in the end. Easy leash, and with the pop blossom back up and available, Isma's lucky to be alive. Lot flashes into Topo. He's angry at the steal in broad daylight. The keys were left in the ignition, and the car is gone. Dredge line out, but GX don't have any range damage. Supa's gonna seal the deal. He's got a double, and Isma's on the wrong side of dodge.
Myrwn ran the interference that MKOI needed to sneak in and get the kills. Isma is standing for the briefest of moments before he joins the rest of GIANTX in the fountain.
4 kills now over to Supa, the 3K or thereabouts bounty picked up. That's what Artican's worth.
But watch on this side. It's Myrwn taking everyone onto the top side of the fight, which means that he buys so much time using the ultimate to reposition, even getting good damage onto Noah. But Supa is free hitting on this bottom side. You have 4 members that are getting into position. A beautiful steal from Elyoya and the immediate follow-up on the engage to shut down GIANTX. They don't have anything left to take this fight, and Supa is ripping through people in this fight.
Even onto Lot, like this early on, a Sivir being able to do that kind of damage to a Cassante is wild. It's going to end with Supa getting yet another kill. Infinity Edge already picked up last Whisper. He's not going to make the same mistakes of the past out of any of our 80 carries. 16,000 already, Dagda. This Sivir's way too strong at this point in the game.
Again, I think it's coming back to one of the discussions that we had was GIANTX and kind of the way that they're set up with their team fights.
Yeah.
They end up splitting that fight up way too much, and MKOI have been way more practiced when it comes towards their team fights. It's kind of been the strength that we saw coming in towards spring playoffs, towards the end of the split, is what they relied on, and it's paying off dividends once more. GIANTX need to find some way to shut this down.
Maybe it starts with a pick onto Jojo, half HP. Fighting around Dragon, the third one for GX. They're keen on it, but Elyoya zones off with the rest of GX. The depth charge onto Alvaro, healed out. Elyoya trying to fake it. Cyclone on the reel, though, and at half or less than. He's caught up in the middle. Double Cyclone, but a wall in the way, and Noah gets the kill. Now for MKOI and Pop Blossom. It won't come through. It would have been a 4-man, but it is nil. Noah gets into backline yet again. Supa's left alone. He could do the fight before, but not anymore. Even with a wall out, a good one for MKOI. It's not enough. GX always find a way.
Just in front of Dragon, they barely find the team fight win, but it's magnificent. In a 4 versus 5, they find their moment.
This game topsy-turvy.
It's insane.
It's a third Dragon. GX are going to move to Soul Point. I don't know who wins this anymore, but I'll just go along with the ride.
And I think we got to see a really cool interaction in this fight as well, where you get the Raveled Earth putting down, and then you get the pillar to move you around.
I'm with
so
you.
You end up being hit by the Unraveled Earth and get the stun. We'll see it here as Elyoya starts to move through. Unraveled Earth, there's the pillar, so you get the displacement. Elyoya ends up being focused down and fall, but Azir was pushing the bottom side this whole time. This is MKOI getting caught out and having to opt into a 4 versus 5. It's a really good moment from GIANTX to find where they can take the fight. And even here, Supa barely surviving on that top side. 1 auto attack away, but it still means that GIANTX can win out down below.
But it's both 80 carries world. We're just living in it for this first game. 3 items on a Sivir, 3 items on a Kai'Sa. Noah is 9-1, and every fight he's diving in. I love that you talk about the Unraveled Earth and what Jackie's is applying to the scenery. As depth charge, or rather Dredge Line, is only going to catch a clone, but it is a comp of landscapers with the pillar, with the stones put down by Jackie's. It's enabling Noah to dive into the backline. We're fighting again, Lot frontlining. Pillar's out yet again, though, and MKOI scared to walk up as Myrwn's up in 25, and GIANTX have absorbed this top side of the map.
And that's all they wanted to do. Force presence in this top side, see if they can find some picks, and then maybe even look for the tier 2 on top. But I don't know if MKOI want to be in this position. This is a little dicey.
It's dark. Jun and Noah step up to the wave. In the blind spot, the GIANTX waiting, a clone used. Nice from Alvaro. Spots the other 3. Baron up in 1. And now it begins. They're going to move into it, try and do a T1 on us. And at 25 minutes, Myrwn, he's going to walk down. He has TP. That's going to be burned. But GIANTX, 3 members doing it while zone control from these 2.
They need to kind of pull off it at this stage. MKOI going to be happy to fight the piss.
The wall out. Elyoya looking for the steal. The steal! No! It's taken by a Cassante! Taken looking a lot more like it with the ulti sent out from Elyoya. Pop Blossom in the front of the fight, and now the auto attacks from Supa. But GX, while they're low, they need to deal with Supa in the back line. The Spanish AD carry isn't the one with a double, but all he needs to do is hit, and Noah stops him in the track. A triple down, make it another. A quadra for Noah on no mana, no health bar, holds onto the flash. He just unleashed.
I was convinced that GIANTX were about to lose that fight. Going into the pit seemed like suicide. You have so many AoE knockups, tons of AoE damage, but somehow they are able to pull it out in the last moment. You can see it here. GIANTX falling back, good wall from Jackies to try and keep them separated. Elyoya gets into the pit, and I thought with Supa dealing the damage, Elyoya having the fight here, that could be the moment, but it's just not quite enough. Jojo's getting some damage off, but you're just not getting on towards the Kai'Sa. She's doing so much work.
That Zhonya's on Jackie was insane. Jojo dives there, Dagda, and he's out of the fight. He doesn't rejoin. Noah gets a hit and get a quadra. 13 kills on this champion, and Noah really is the champion.
Oh my god, no, you're the GOAT. No, you're the GOAT.
yeah, what Jackie said. Noah is the GOAT. This game, it's been crazy, topsy-turvy. It's been Supa's world for a little bit, but Noah has just been climbing ahead, fight by fight. Now it's more to say that as Supa's on his defense. 5k gold lead for GIANTX, Baron in hand, Soul for them, up in 130.
For MKOI, it's difficult to try and come back from this position as well. You don't really have a true tank that can face check and try and find that space that you need.
Yeah.
You're hoping Elyoya can get into a position to look for a big cyclone, or maybe Alvaro can find some sort of flank position, but without having some of the unsealed spellbook shenanigans where you can like teleport in behind people or look for those plays, it just becomes really difficult. As long as MKOI continue to keep that slow, or sorry, GX continue to keep that slow encroaching vision line moving forward.
As you said, the tank means a lot. I didn't mean to do that, I'm sorry, but he does mean a lot, really. He's on 16, almost 3 items, but had a big contribution in this game. Defense not enough. Supa doesn't have enough wave clear with Baron minions, and those melees are just such a pain. Inner turret goes down. Jojo defending inner and top, and bot wave at least has a bit of a shove on it by Myrwn, but there's good reset timer. Remember, 35 seconds till Infernal Soul. And that is an almost full build Kai'Sa with a blighting jewel. Noah just finished his Zhonya's Hourglass as well.
I'm curious if Jackies will get his Zhonya's Hourglass finished as well. He stuck around a little bit longer. Like, he's fine. He has the TP to come back out. But I imagine should have it finished, and that would... There it is. So 2 Zhonyas now completed for GIANTX. MKOI, though, already with position on the Dragon and on the objective, will make this a little bit more difficult for GIANTX to get in.
Look how much easier it is for them to face check. Jackie's face check, so Dredge line, and gone is the mid laner of MKOI. Jun has to flash away after a Dredge line in. It was ambitious, but still, 5 versus 4. Jojo dead for 45 seconds. What a pick.
GIANTX start to move forward. There is little that can be done in this sort of position to try and keep them at bay. Lots can hold position on this choke point. Elyoya needs to make a miracle steal happen again.
But Noah's in the way. Noah is in the way in this 14 kill Kai'Sa. Keep track. Level 16 will start autoing the Dragon. Dredge line back in. Jun rejoins. Jackie's about to wall with that angle. Elyoya wants a steal to keep the game going, to delay it. Tangle Barb's out as well. Lot looking for a position. There's the Weaver's Wall, lines down the middle. Elyoya, Seismic Shot doesn't connect. Jun looking at an angle to press the depth charge button. He doesn't have it, but won't need it. There's the Infernal Soul. GX get it with ease, and MKOI walk away empty-handed.
GIANTX protect their prize incredibly well there, denying MKOI really any sort of access, pushing Elyoya right out of the pit area. Infernal Soul now, position on the map. This is so hard for MKOI to try and come back from, and again, they had decent positioning here, but Jojo gets caught out entirely. The flick was perfect from Jackies to set that one up. And at that stage, MKOI know it's basically done. They can't really commit any more resources to the area.
It does feel that way with Infernal Soul. Their hope is an Elder Flip in this game at 6,000 gold behind. Despite having a Sivir and Azir, they're shredding just not enough yet for that front line.
It's just the poke you can have coming through from GIANTX, though. Because you can see there, Noah's just sending out the Void Missiles. If he hits, fantastic. You just take a ton of damage off the Infernal Dragon, or Infernal Soul as well.
Yep.
And you just got to take it. There's very little less that can happen. So from this position, again, like this is, I'm really excited about this for Giant.
Yeah.
Like, we saw this against KC last week, where we started to see a strong early game, but there were small individual mistakes coming into the mid game. Still, some issues here. Like, we still get to see some of those overextensions, but overall, this has been a really strong showing. And I think it's insane to see another team that is stepping up to try and say, no, we can contest with the best that this region has to offer.
And the reason that it's so insane as well is because, yes, this is only game one. You don't have to be Andrew Fettius Day, but, like, there is only one singular best of threes. Jojo might be caught out here on the side. The ulti not weave, seismic shove. Easy as that. Noah is farming champions this game. Jackie's like, no, that's my kill. And Noah ultis into secure number 15.
I mean, there's a reason that Jackie's has 15 assists and Noah has 15 kills. You know, and it's that beautiful
Supa.
synergy.
Oh my god, that Seeker hit hard, and now there's just another fight. The clone's going to die first. You can count that as another as Myrwn tries to disengage, but a depth charge. Here comes Noah once again. 16, count it with me. If Sword of the Occult was in the game, that'd be fully stacked.
The fact that there is no wave is the only reason that MKOI are really holding on to game number one. Baron going to be called lost, tried, not quite able to do so, but what do you do from this position?
Yeah, well, you could just promote a ticket sale. There you go, Baron's going to go down. A quick reminder, LEC Summer Finals in Madrid. Wouldn't that be big if GIANTX could make the run? Very early in the season to say that, but I'm going to say it.
I am genuinely excited for GIANTX though.
Yeah, as it should be.
Oh,
it's not the KT curse, is it? Let's find out. MKOI caught out with a pillar. Their defense has gone on long enough, and GIANTX need to seal the deal here. And nothing up and available. They're just going to take jungle and try and use this Baron to finally get sieging onto the base. I understand why you're excited about GX, Dagda. I think we all agree. Like, this roster, it's taken a while to get here, but they are improving each game, it seems. And in this single BO3 round-robin format, a win against #1 of Spring would be huge.
It's also just to hear what has been going on behind the scenes finally make it to the main stage.
Yeah.
See that actually GIANTX have these incredibly strong early games, that they can play at these great mid games. The individual talent that is on this roster can also step up massively. We're starting to see it over the course of the first 2 weeks, and if it continues into playoffs, it makes things very exciting. Here, we're just going to see Supa getting caught out by loss, making it a little bit more difficult. Oh, good job on the spell shield, actually. Didn't catch that. Supa doesn't end up getting yoinked and doesn't end up dying on the back of it, but GIANTX still have to chase down everyone.
It's funny because it does actually set up his team to burn a couple of flashes because Lot just gets transported behind them. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't, I guess. It's a rough game. Jojo, he has a bit of PTSD. Scared to step up to the wave. He's had a rough game. A couple of TPs gone awry, but also, you know, seismic shove getting picked up by Jackies a few times. Like, it has kind of been a rough game where he's had some good shuffles, but the fights never really come together around Jojo, around Supa at this point.
It's also difficult just with the way GIANTX are positioned on the map.
Yeah.
Sure, you've got Myrwn who can very quickly clear it away and try and join them.
With his wall. Jojo, ulti, that's not going to do much. He flash gets queued. Jackies takes the kill. But Noah's damage will send him to kaput. All right, Dagda, the final moments. The minions are going walkabout. They are like, hello, come back. All right, Cyclone's going to be used, and now they've found a new angle. That depth charge used, and every time a W hits, someone gets close to dying. Elyoya, go home. Please step away from Noah. He hits Alvaro anyway, despite the clone, and at half HP, dredge line in, the pillar out. It stops, it persuades the play, but GIANTX at 34 minutes, while it's taken a long time, has started sieging into the base. It's finally broken. With Baron expiring, Elder coming up, that's where we'll put the game one.
You still have decent scaling on MKOI, so if they steal Elder Dragon, maybe there's a chance. It's just the fact that you have 2 Zhonyas already still there is going to make this contest incredibly difficult. But again, once you have any of this CC or any of this displacement land onto someone, it just sets up for Noah to follow through. And GIANTX know it exactly. Second Jojo has any of those Kai'Sa stacks, they just take the shot.
Yeah. It's so fun when playing Kai'Sa when you like this, when you just one-shot people every W. Forces someone to cry, and Noah with Infernal Soul, maybe it couldn't have got even better. The kill record in a single game is 17, by the way, if you're wondering. Highest kills, no, it says 19, and so I'm not even sure.
So Noah's highest kills ever in a single game is 17.
Thank you for reading properly, Dagda. And,
LEC record is 19, so he's very close. It was Karzy versus Reckless.
Okay. I'm assuming that's by Karzy. Although I would assume Reckless to find that, so that's an interesting stat. Elder's going to begin. Are we going to get a fight over it? Can Noah break the LEC kill record? 3 to go. Elder's going to be started, I think, just soloed out, and yes, something taken down by Myrwn, but it might not matter. Seismic shove out, Elder down, and here we go. Pop Blossom's good, but first execute, 17. Noah needs 2 more to get in line. There are 3 available onto Supa. We're waiting. He knows it. Maybe he feels that the poke out. There it is. 18. 1 more. Myrwn gets over the wall. The poke does not connect, and Myrwn's alive for now. Dagda, he has killer instinct available. Myrwn, eyes in blood. If
Isma gets the Trundle pillar, it will count as displacement, and you can look for, but he may just snipe
He hit it, and Myrwn's going to go invis with the auto. The burn! The burn! Myrwn dead! It's an ace! He gets 19, he's tied! Elyoya's up in 19, Alvaro in 10. All I care about is the kill record.
I don't think
20,
they care, though.
20, hold, GX, hold! Alvaro coming up. They have Elder. Stop hitting the Nexus. Stop hitting the Nexus! Noah cares about the game more. You got to respect that. But he is now tied for the all-time kill record in the LEC.
And what an impressive way to do so as well. The early kill in the bottom lane, snowballing perfectly for GIANTX and taking down our Spring Split champions in game number 1.
Much like Noah's W, it's your shot to win a VIP Summer Finals experience. We're talking about it in-game. That money cannot buy for queuing up for another game with your squad. We're talking tickets, flights, hotels, tours, meets and greets. Every game counts in our latest for the win challenge. Vamos LEC Madrid. Let's go.